I'm ready.
Mick Sports Blog.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Public transit.
All right, what the people say? Mick Sports Blog here. All right, we're in the midst of the NBA playoffs, and they're gonna get even better because we're going towards the second round. That means the competition and the teams are gonna be a lot better. So we got the San Antonio Spurs. They eliminated the Utah Jazz, and usually when you usually have fallouts when you lose in the playoffs. One of the players for the Utah Jazz says the coach for the Utah Jazz, Ty Corbett, is unprofessional. He don't know how to reach the players. So we see how that little, but not too many people are interested in the Utah Jazz unless they live in Utah. Okay. All right, Oklahoma City, they got rid of the world champions last year, world champion Dallas Mavericks, and they swept them in 4 straight games. And a lot of the games were relatively close. It was one blowout. But Dallas is going to have to make some changes. And, of course, Lamar Odom, he didn't work out. He could have obviously helped him. Dirk was his usual self, Jason Terry. But Jason Kidd, his athleticism has dropped off dramatically. And a lot of the bench, they didn't really help. Anytime you lose a caliber of player such as Tyson Chandler, who this year, with the New York Knicks, won the Defensive NBA Player of the Year. Wow, you can't lose that kind of player and still be successful in your program. All right, the LA Lakers, they lead this series with the Denver Nuggets 3-2. They're going to be on tonight at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, Kobe, he's going to be his usual self, but I don't know. He probably need to try to distribute and be a facilitator a little bit more. Because everybody knows he's going to get his, but if they can stop the other players, cast of characters they have on the Lakers, you could probably beat the Lakers. I don't know if the Denver Nuggets can do it, even though they're very athletic. JaVale McGee, he totally outplayed Bynum that last game, and Bynum, I don't know if he gets it yet, man, because sometimes he looks like he gets it, and then other times he don't. Then a lot of times in the press conferences and with the media, he says some of the dumbest things. And he said before that last game that the game where you're trying to put a team away or sweep them usually is an easy game, so we need to go in there and just get it done. What are you talking about, young fella? I guess Kobe just probably tired of him and say, well, he don't listen anyway. He looks like the type that don't listen because he don't come across as ignorant. Or, he's just kind of arrogant and cocky and say, you tell him something, it goes in one ear, out the other. But he could easily, if he had the right attitude, be the top center in the league along with Dwight Howard. So, that's my team. When we see how they do, they got to get rid of the Nuggets because the longer you let a team hang around and they get confidence, they think they can beat you, and they will beat you. This is the NBA. All right, we got the LA Clippers. They played last night. Chris Paul is having trouble with his groin again. Blake Griffin almost busted his knee up. And Memphis is a good team, so nip and tuck. I mean, they're going to play again, I believe, Friday night. LA Clippers, they need to really go ahead and end that series and go on to the next one because if LA wins or if Memphis wins, they're going to have to play the Spurs. Spurs look very strong. Well-oiled machine. Everybody does everything fundamentally sound. Tim Duncan is Tim Duncan. Tony Parker is Tony Parker. Steven Jackson. Ginobili. All these great. And then you got Greg Popovich, the excellent Hall of Fame coach. He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. So I would love to see the Clippers win against Memphis because Memphis – I just would love really to see, this is what I really would love to see. I would love to see in the Western Conference Final, the LA Clippers play the LA Lakers. But I don't know if the league would like to see that or many of you. I don't know how many of you would like to see that. But the Oklahoma City would be playing the winner of the L.A. Lakers or the Denver Nuggets. Hopefully that'll be the L.A. Lakers because Oklahoma City versus the L.A. Lakers would be very entertaining. And then on the other side of the Western Conference, the Spurs is waiting for the Clippers or the Memphis Grizzlies. So we see how that pans out. All right, on the East side, all right, the Bulls, they're behind the 76ers in their series. 76ers are winning that 3-2. They play again tonight, Thursday night. I don't know. That's kind of a toss-up because when Derrick Rose went down, the advantage went almost to the 76ers because the brand of ball they play and the coach they have, Doug Collins, they play good defense, they run, they play transition ball, and they got good athletes. No real big star players. So, they have a chance. And the other game on that bracket of the East is Boston versus Atlanta. When Derrick Rose, if one player affect a whole conference, now Boston has an excellent chance to end up in the Eastern Conference Final. That's if Atlanta don't raise their head and have something to say about it. Because Atlanta is just as athletic as anybody. They're younger than Boston. Everybody talking about Boston is old. But Boston experience, and they have a great coach, Doc Rivers. You have great pro players, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and the greatest of all, Rondo. That boy right there. I think out of all the great point guards in the league, and right now this is a point guard driven league, I think I would want him of all of them, even above Chris Paul, because he does so many intangibles and he does them so well and he makes everybody so good. So we'll see Boston and Atlanta are at 3-2. Boston's leading, and they're going back to Boston. That's tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, Standard Time. So if the winner of Boston or Atlanta would play the winner of the Chicago Bulls or the 76ers. On the other side of the Eastern bracket, you have the Indiana Pacers, who've already beaten 4-1. They beat the Orlando Magic, who really didn't have a shot without Dwight Howard. They're sitting and waiting. Well, now they're not waiting. The Miami Heat, they defeated the New York Knicks. Ooh, that team is in disarray. They need to go ahead and hire Mike Woodson as their permanent coach. Do something either with Amare or Carmelo Anthony. I don't even know who their point guard is going to be now with Baron Davis down. Jeremy Lin, I don't know if he's the answer. I mean, that little phenomenon lasted a hot New York minute. Jeremy Lin. Good. And the people who really know basketball, they didn't get carried away with that phenomenon because we realized he was basically an average player. And they was making a big to-do because he was having a nice run. And that's all it was. All right. So, there you have it. So the Indiana Pacers going in the second round. Only one game is set for the second round so far, and that's the Indiana Pacers versus the Miami Heat. I expect Miami to take that one, but I expect Indiana to give them a run for their money. And remember this, sports fans, injuries always have and always will play a major deciding factor in these playoff games. If you have one major player on any given team go down, it can drastically change a whole game, a whole series, or even the whole standings of the playoffs, such as what Derrick Rose has done to these playoffs. So this is Mick's Sports Blog again. We're signing off. Peace and love to everybody. See ya. Bye-bye.